time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Tonight, let us make them remember we are not afraid!
Hello! Welcome to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, each and every day here from the BEA beautiful studios of Freedoms with an S, freedomsphoenix.com in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona, where it's very nice. It's very nice outside, a little chilly in the morning, and then it warms up, and they're out at Sky Harbor doing their opt-out protesting. And, you know, I was thinking this morning, I woke up and I go, who's my guest today? You know, who do I get to, during the middle of all this, who did I go, oh, it's Claire Wolf. Who better to have than Claire Wolf? I got you there, Claire.
Hi there, Ernie. Good to be here.
It's great to have you. You know, Claire has been a speaker at the Freedom Summit before, and she's always clandestine. She wants to. So from the undisclosed location of wherever the heck she's at, you know, she has a great input on a lot of this stuff. And I'll tell you this. In the mid-'90s, she wrote a book called 101 Things to Do Till the Revolution. And it was very entertaining, and it had a classic line in there that's repeated so much. I want to let you know what I'm talking about, Claire.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
You get to say it. You get to say it. Go ahead.
America is at that awkward stage. It's too late to work within the system, but too early to shoot the bastards.
Oh, that was 15 years ago. Where are we at? We've gotten closer. You know what I mean?
We have gotten closer, but, thank heaven, we've also gotten a little bit smarter since then, I think. Not we meaning, like, the U.S. government, not meaning Congress, not meaning the TSA or the IRS or the FBI, but we meaning freedom people.
Yeah. We're starting to see what's going on. You know, the one thing that we have a couple of new books. Don't you have more? We have the book up, The Bad Attitude Guide to Good Citizenship by Claire Wolf, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But what's some of the books that you've been writing here of late?
Well, 2 books came out last month. I didn't actually write them both at the same time, but they both came out within a week of each other. The other one is Hardyville Tales, which, if anybody is used to reading my old columns online, they will know that Hardyville is the little town that was founded shortly after the Whiskey Rebellion, 600 miles from the middle of nowhere, and then forgotten by the rest of the world. And it has grown up to be maybe what we should have been, but aren't.
Well, it's always good to get your perspective on any and everything, so we encourage them to go check that. Go to Amazon, you put in Claire Wolf, and boom, all kinds of goodies will come up. The one thing, all this news about the TSA, back 15 years ago when, we got to meet you, we had you come to the summit, I don't know, probably 7 years ago, and everything that we knew was coming, it's here, and we are always trying to predict when the people will be going, I'm done. And are we at that point, or at least have the awareness? Because there's a lot of people saying, hey, man, I need to be safe. I want Big Bubba, Big Sis government to take care of me. And if it takes squeezing my package, well, then that's what it takes. And we have so much news. And after our conversation today, I'll go over a lot of the stuff. They can go to freedomsphoenix.com, and we have a lot of people at the airport. They're doing quick. They're getting live, semi-live video, a couple-minute delay, and we'll put it right up here. But, what is this representative of? Did you anticipate that it would get this bad? Is this what you were predicting?
I thought it would get worse, actually, faster. Some of the books that I wrote back in the late 90s, I look at them now, and while I still think that the points in them are valid, I'm surprised at how slow things are getting here, like national ID. I thought by now, we'd practically be implanted with chips, and that's still a ways away. But it's a ways away because of people like your friends down there in Arizona and like you, who are saying no way, who are resisting. I'm really impressed with the level of resistance. Okay, yes, 99% of everybody may just go line up and allow themselves to be felt up by the TSA with their dirty old, germy old gloves and pick up lice and crabs and whatever. And that's fine, let them. If they want to, let them. But the very fact that the resistance has been so tremendous and so noisy and so adamant, that's pretty impressive.
Well, I'll tell you what has happened. It is a manifestation of being able to communicate with each other almost instantaneously. It's the benefit of something like the internet. And we understood back in the 90s when we were doing all this work before that sooner or later they were going to be able to broadband video. In 2005, when they started doing YouTube, I go, oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Now, we had Freedom's Phoenix, the concept of Freedom's Phoenix, and all the abilities to communicate that way was in our heads back when we were doing all the stuff here out of Arizona in the mid-90s. But we were waiting for online video. And when that happened, I so knew what was coming. So that's when we started doing Freedom's Phoenix, even though we had the concept in our heads 10 years before. But we had to be able to compete with the back. That's a good point. Good point. On Freedom's Phoenix right now, you go up there. Last night we had the Fox affiliate came by. They interviewed me and did the woohoo. And then, of course, they picked just a few seconds of us talking about our opt-out bags with the blue gloves and all that kind of stuff. What happened was we had one of the activists was filming the whole thing. And everything that I said came back to, look, you want to do away with all this screening and all this police state and you have to stop bombing and killing people. Stop the wars. Quit. You have an empire of war, you'll always descend into a police state. Well, I go, look, and I know that you won't say a word about the wars being the problem. I get, go do your thing. Because what we did is on the front page, my daughter put up the video that we had of the entire interview that I did with them, along with what the Fox affiliate actually aired. And man, they had to work it because I was really going on this war thing. We'll just take a little bitty bit here somewhere, anything but talk about the war. so I'm just like, you guys are so predictable, So and we got your book here. And what's interesting, I was just flipping through it, and the title is X-Ray or X-Rated, Lies, Damn Lies, and Security Theater, and it goes on talking about Michael Chertoff and his role in this whole thing. Go ahead and talk about that with us, will you please?
Well, I think a lot of people are coming to realize that now. At first, when the protests against the TSA started taking off, it didn't really come out very much, but I think people are very aware now that the main reason that we're having these machines imposed on us now has nothing to do with security. They wouldn't have stopped the underwear bomber. They're not going to stop somebody who stuffs whatever up his cavities or her cavities. Or
that's
whatever.
Next. We're getting anal probes. Here it comes.
That's right. That's going to be next. But the whole thing, it's about money. Of course, it's about power and control and all of that. But it's about money. Chertoff is a lobbyist for Rapiscan, or as I would call them, Rapiscan. And of course. And so they tell us, well, it'll make you safer, so don't question. It's the same as the Pentagon budget. It's going to make you safer, so don't question it. It's sacrosanct. And Napolitano undoubtedly is in the process right now of lining up her day at the trough. So,
really? How do you think she's going to do that?
Well, I don't know. It'll probably have something to do with the anal probes.
But she will. Whatever it is, she will.
Of course she will. That's just the way it works. But I think it's really amazing, and you're right, it's the internet and it's the instant communications, but it's absolutely amazing.
When we come back, more with Claire Wolf, a good friend of Liberty for a long time. She's been one of the instigators of what is really the issues, and we'll get to them when we come back here on Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, in just a little bit.